What's up, everyone? We are now on tutorial number 5. You've made it to number 5. Congratulations if you've made it this far. So here we're going to look at tuples. We're going to look at the assert keyword and the abort keyword. So let's create a new project. I'm going to call it move 5. And as usual, cd move 5. And we have our usual setup, nothing in here, so I'm going to add the file, let's call it tuples.move. We're going to do more than tuples, but let's just do it for now. Module, and this is going to be 0x42, and it's going to be called tuples, tuples. Let me just rename this to similar to Rust, we can write functions that return a tuple, and a tuple will give us various different variables that we can deconstruct from the tuple, and this is helpful in many scenarios, probably most commonly for error handling. But let's just have a look at what one of these functions looks like. So I'm going to create a new function and call it lots of things, because we're going to return lots of things. It's not going to take anything, but it's going to return a tuple. So first of all, we do this bracket, and this by itself, by the way, this bracket, I believe is called a unit, which is actually a type of tuple. So this will just be like an empty tuple, which is valid. But we're going to put some stuff in this tuple. So we're going to say we want to return U8, a vector of U8, and also a Boolean, right? So we're going to just give these values something. So we're just going to say let x equals 0, and then we're going to say let name equals this binary string literal, and then let truthy, let's call it equals true. I'm just going to turn off my Copilot. I don't know why it's on. Should be off now. Cool. So, and then we're just going to return all this stuff. So we can just return x, we can return name, and we can return truthy. And because we are using move, we have this implicit return. We put it in the brackets, and that will just return. So for example, if I just write a test here, and we just call it test, lots of things, and in there we just call lots of things. So this will return 3 things, right? So the way we actually deconstruct those 3 things is we do this: let x, and then name, and then truthy. So let's just see if this compiles. We've got unexpected. So here. Also, I believe we need one there. No, I don't think we need them. So it's compiling fine. So let's do use standard debug. And that's just std debug. Okay, cool. So we just need that nursery package. So I'm just going to grab it from, I believe it's in here. No, it's not in there. Let's go up. I think we had it in move 4. Yes. Cool. We got it in now. So back to our module. So now we can do the print. So we can go debug, print, and we pass in a immutable reference to x, and then we're going to just do this twice, but this is going to be name, and this is going to be truth. I think that's called truthy. Again, we need the semicolons. Use standard debug, alias debug. Remove it, but I'm using it. Not sure what that is about, but let's run the tests. Cool. So here we have our test debug printing. So we got 0, which is the value of x. Name, which prints off as, this is the format because remember it's a vector of U8s. So this is how the string is represented as a vector of U8s. And we also get the value true. So we can return this tuple, deconstruct, and yeah, so that's pretty powerful stuff to be able to do nicely and easily on chain. So now we're going to look at the assert keyword, which we actually used before in our tests, but we can use it outside of the test as well. So let's just have this. So this can just help you provide a bit of safety, provide some checks in your code. So let's have this. So we're going to have a number coming in, and we're going to return Boolean. And inside the function, we're going to just straight away write our assert. And we want to assert that if the number is divided by 2 is 1, throw this value 88. So that second parameter, it basically says what is the error code that you want to throw, which is just a number. Otherwise, return true. So let's test that. So that's going to be must be odd. So let's just write a new test here. So that's going to be like this, test, and function test must be odd, right? So in the test must be odd, we're going to have some variable, and then must be odd, we will pass in the value 1. And for this test, we have to assert that x must be true, otherwise throw 0. So basically we're saying here that, well, 1 is obviously odd, so this assert will pass, which means it will be true. If we pass in an even, this assert here would throw an error. So let's have a go. So move test, unexpected return. That's simply because there are 2 ways we can fix this. One, we can put the semicolon at the end, or we could have an implicit return. Unexpected true. Oh, we were missing the semicolon above. This should still work. Move test. Unexpected, is that expected? Weird. Oh, it's down here. That's it. So I was just missing a semicolon there as usual. I will always miss them. Still, there's a problem. This one. Yeah, you really have to get that muscle memory, I guess, similar to Rust. So here we go. So they've both passed, 2 passes. That's working as expected, but let's say I put in a 2 here. So this should throw the error. Boom. And it throws the error, but it aborted with 88 here. 88 is our error code. I like this assert thing that we can have these error codes because it means that we can create unique error codes at the module level. So someone that's interacting with our code should be able to understand where the error is coming from by reading those numbers. I don't know, it's a nice, it's a good practice. So yeah, so that's all working. So let's put in our even number again. So we can also have abort. So let's do function. Let's call this must be even. And again, we're going to have a num, which is going to be a U8. And this will also return a bool. So we can say if num divided by 2 does not equal 0, then what we can do is say abort, and we can abort with a number. So let's just say abort 9. Otherwise, return true. So I just used the number 9 there because it seems like, in my mind, an aborty number. No, I don't know why I used that. So now we're going to write our unit test for this. By the way, the reason why I wrote the number 9 is totally random. I just chose the number 9. It's not significant in any way. So function test must be even. Oh, it's off. That should be odd, right? God, that must have been painful for you guys to see me type that. Must be even. Okay, so we want to call must be even. Is even equals must be even. I mean, you might want to choose a different number for this, but anyway, let's do 0. 0 is an even number. And then we just want to assert that is even equals true, right? So, yes, we put a space there, so that shouldn't be there. Does not equal 0. Okay, so it's working. So now let's try and trigger our abort. So let's put in the number 1, which is obviously not even. And here we go. Test was not expected to abort, but it aborted with 9 here. So assert and abort both abort the program and throw a number. So it's really just a question of style. If I was to choose, I would probably use assert more frequently because it stands out a little bit more than just the small word abort. But I think either is absolutely fine. So that's great. That's going to be the end of this one. So we covered tuples, the keyword abort, and the keyword assert. I'll see you guys in the next one.